Hello, everyone. My name is Drago, and today we're going to be talking about what you should be using as a cavalry player in Rise of Kingdoms. You don't have to necessarily be a cavalry player, but this is going to be the best equipment you can use for whatever level that you're at in the game. Stay tuned. Welcome to the video, everybody. Really appreciate you joining me. Before we jump in, again, please make sure you hit that subscribe button, like if you haven't done so, hit the bell notification so you get those daily notifications whenever I post Rise of Kingdoms content for you to enjoy. So let's jump into what is the best equipment for your level in Rise of Kingdoms for a cavalry march. So again, like I said at the beginning, you don't have to be a cav player to have this. It's really just a matter of what marches you're using on the field. And really, I think what most people are going with nowadays is best in slot, meaning there are such good commanders in the game now that even the highest spending players in the game are not using all of one troop type. They're using the best available regardless of troop type. So they're using Nebu YSG for archers alongside of Nevsky William with calves, alongside of Guan Scipio with infantry, alongside of XY Honda, even though that's all cav, it's a leadership commander secondary. You see what I'm saying, though? So I want to show you guys what you have available to you as best in slot pre-legendary equipment, which is going to give you a big bonus, okay? And then post-legendary equipment, which is what you're going to be eventually trying to work your way towards for all of your marches, whether it's a garrison, rally, or open field commander setup. Okay, so right now I've got my Attila up here. This is really going to be, in my opinion, now ignore the accessory portion. That's first off, that's definitely not best in slot or anything close to it. Although I can give you some quick recommendations on what you should be using pre and post legendary there as well towards the end of the video. What you're looking at right here is really the best in slot pre legendary that you can get. You've got a procced Dark Lord's Blessing, you've got a procced Gladiator, you've got a procced Isit's Sufferance, and you've got a procced Expedition Warhelm, and also procced Cloud Racers. Now, also have here on the weapon, I have the Trial of the Lost Kingdom. There's actually a better piece that doesn't require you to spend any money, and that is the Heart of the Saint, which is this guy right here. In fact, we'll go ahead and swap that right on there because procced, it actually gives you a few percentage points more defense than does the Trial of the Lost Kingdom, which is a legendary piece that you get through the VIP chest whenever you hit the right VIP level. But this is actually your best in slot here. Now, what do you start to upgrade? Well, look for anything that has attack. So we went defense here, we went defense here, we went attack and health here. We have defense here, we have health here. We have attack on the boots. Boots should be your first upgrade, okay? When it comes to your equipment, boots should be your first upgrade. Then you start looking at some of the other stuff. Maybe the gloves might be your next step. Maybe start working on your helmet after that. Again, the helmet should be the KVK helmet, not necessarily the set piece. We'll go into the best in slot here in just a moment, but I wanted to give you guys the best in slot pre-legendary, meaning this is what you should first start working on as you start to get into upgrading your equipment for any of your cavalry marches. All of this is dismantleable with full return, meaning the only thing you won't get back is the blueprints that you used, which is, again, not that big of a deal. Or again, you can move this set once you're ready to start upgrading to your next cav march. So say you have Nevsky William and then XY Honda. XY Honda can go ahead and start getting this, or vice versa, whichever way you want to go about it. But this is what you want to be working on first. Now, what do you want to start working on as you start to get towards the top tier? This is for the most part best in class. Now, we have the helmet here and the weapon here. This is technically not best in class. You want to replace these with the KVK helmet, the Khan's helmet. And then you also want to replace this with the sword as well. That's in the KVK shop for any Season of Conquest KVK that you can get access to. Other than that, everything else is best in slot. So cavalry set piece, that's 14.5 cav health with the proc. Navarre's Control at 10.5% cav health with the proc. Ash of Dawn, 12 plus 4, that's 16% cav health with the proc. And then finally, the cav set boots at basically 10% with the proc on the cav health. Those are your best in slot regardless. So these 4 pieces are best in slot. You want to iconic these if you're going to be focusing on your cavalry marches, your iconic set. You should definitely not spread out your iconics. You should be focusing your iconics on a per set basis. Don't be that guy who has 2 iconic pieces on a rally set or 2 iconic pieces on a garrison set. You don't want to be that guy. Be that guy who knows what he's doing, or he or she's doing, and make sure that you focus your iconic pieces on one set at a time. Now, again, the only upgrades on here that I would focus on, again, would be the cavalry helmet going to the KBK helmet, and the cavalry weapon inside of the Season of Conquest shop. I've got these procced already, and this was not my top priority as far as set pieces. On this account, my top priority is infantry set, and I'm going to be focusing on archer set here very soon because it's a garrison-led account. But this is still top tier. And again, once I iconic this stuff, it'll be just fine. And I will eventually upgrade the KBK helm and weapon to the helm and the weapon to the KBK set pieces, and then I got to work on proccing those things as well. So something to take into account. This is going to be your top tier. Now let's talk about accessories really quickly before we wrap the video up. I want it to be very concise. I don't want this to be too long of a video. What accessories should you be using on your cavalry? Well, for open field, you definitely want the ring. Okay, so just like we have right here, ring is top priority. In fact, again, through all the videos that we're going to be doing, and again, we're going to be doing this for infantry and for archers as well. Ring should be one of your main accessories that you focus on getting for each one of your marches. Bar none, it's the best thing you can do for any one of your marches. Giving a 50% damage bonus for 2 seconds on a 10% chance when you're attacking anything. Really, really good. Really, really good. And it procs all the time, guys. So you definitely want to have that on all of your marches. Now, what should you do as far as the second piece? Well, you can certainly do a Greatest Glory. You can do a dagger. You can do a Moor's Web. Those are all really good. But eventually, whenever you're talking about your open field marches, you want to have a war drum, or you want to have what you see in front of you, which is a Horn of Fury. Now, war drums by themselves, if you only have one war drum in your entire set, it's not going to be as much of a value as if you, say, have 3 out of 5 of your marches have war drum. Basically going to make it to where all of your marches have a Horn of Fury, if you think about it. Once you've done that, you can actually go ahead and use those other 2 marches that don't have a war drums and have the dagger, have Moor's Web. That way you're getting the debuffs that you want on the open field, but you're also getting basically and effectively a Horn of Fury on all of your marches. That's a little bit of a trick on the high level that a lot of people don't know about that you should start really focusing on doing. Now, this is top tier, okay? 2 legendary accessories. Not only are they hard to get, but also they're expensive. They're very, very expensive from a material standpoint. And then you got to worry about proccing them as well eventually, especially if you're a rally or a garrison lead. That can be very expensive, okay? So you need to make sure that you are prepared for that kind of investment as you go along. Now, non-legendary pieces that make sense. Certainly Silent Trial will be one that you can focus on. And again, very easy to crit. The blueprints are out there on most of the events that come along from a seasonal standpoint. There's a ton of other events that you can do to get these things. You can certainly farm them inside of keeps as well and proc all these things out. And then certainly, again, Delane's here, same thing. This is procced out, very easy to do. The same reason Silent Trial is. Incoming counterattack damage, reducing by 5%, proccing it. I think it puts it at like 6.5% or something like that. That's not too bad at all. You can certainly get a little bit of extra speed as well. Go Call the Loyal, although again, this starts to lose a little value inside of KBK because you already have so much march speed. An extra 5% you really don't tend to notice very often. Same thing with Ancient Stratagems. In KBK, especially if you're able to get to Call to Arms on the Crystal Tech, the 3% doesn't really make too much of a difference, and in fact may actually start to degrade a bit because the 3% is based off the base, not off the extension. That's really about it. So again, you really want to be focusing on the ring. Ring is priority. As you can see, anytime you can buy a ring, you should be buying it. Even if you can't make it yet, buy the blueprint. That's very, very difficult to get a hold of. You can only get those in KBK as of right now. So maybe in the future, they'll have events where they unlock that for other events, like what happened with the dagger and what happened with the coin. But again, you can't get the ring anywhere else. You want to have the ring blueprints every time you go into KBK. So another quick tip for you there. So this is best in slot. Again, KBK helm, KBK weapon is the top tier, but this is basically close enough. We're talking about a difference of maybe 4 or 5% stats if we go with the KBK flavor versus the non-KBK flavor. And to actually give you a counterpoint to even going the KBK route, because I have both set pieces here as well, this is 1, 2, 3, 4 set pieces, which gives me the extra counterattack damage of 3%, which in the long run is not that big of a deal. I'd much rather have the stats. But on a rally, if it's getting swarmed, which we all know the new swarm tech coming out, this could actually be beneficial. So maybe that's actually the better way to go. We'll see. But otherwise, again, I'd much rather have the stats. But again, we're talking even more investment. You are talking a lot of investment from a coin standpoint, as well as investment from a material standpoint to get these upgraded. So this is only for the toppest of tippity top tier. Just to quickly look at the Attila here, this is the best pre-legendary setup that you can really go for. Again, you could do a silent trial here and be very, very well off, and not really have spent very much from a material standpoint getting this done. And again, easily upgradable without losing any of your materials that got you there in the first place, using those materials to get you into some legendary pieces. Again, really focus on the boots. The weapon's actually one of the last things that you want to focus on, because the KBK and the set piece weapons are attack based, not defense based. So this is really one of the last things you want to upgrade. And then certainly the gloves as well, being the set gloves and the set boots, very good to upgrade as a secondary, because that will give you the first 2-piece set bonus that you'll receive with the set bonus for the cav. So I hope you guys have enjoyed the video. I will see you guys next time. Cheers, have a good one, and take care.